Good morning, friends. Today we're going to spend some time in the book of Matthew, chapter 14. And this morning I'm looking at verses 13 through 21. This is a setting where Jesus is on the hillside near the Sea of Galilee. And he has just heard the news of John the Baptist and his death. And Jesus leaves to find solitude. He leaves the crowds. He goes on a boat to try to find some solitude, to be alone. I'm sure to process the news. And as Jesus is taking this time to go and be alone, the crowds who are following Jesus, searching for hope, they are desperate for hope and healing. They follow Jesus and in search of that hope and that healing. And so instead of Jesus sending them away, he welcomes them in. And let's go ahead and start the reading in chapter 14, verses 13 through 21. As soon as Jesus heard the news, he left in a boat to a remote area to be alone. But the crowds heard where he was headed and followed on foot from many towns. Jesus saw the huge crowd as he stepped from the boat, and he had compassion on them, and he healed their sick. That evening, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the villages and buy food for themselves." But Jesus said, "That isn't necessary. You feed them." "But we only have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish," they answered. "Bring them here," Jesus said. Then he told the people to sit down on the grass, and Jesus took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. He looked up towards the heavens and he blessed them. Then, breaking the loaves into pieces, he gave the bread to the disciples, who distributed it to the people. They all ate as much as they wanted, and afterward, the disciples picked up 12 baskets of leftovers. About 5,000 men were fed that day, in addition to all the women and the children. If there's one thing that these scriptures speak to me, it's about how even in spaces where we may feel as though we don't have enough to do maybe God's work, and so we wait. When we stepped into this space at 180 Ministries, we walked in to the building and had $200 in our checking account to start this ministry. Over and over again, God has supplied exactly what we need to give to those in our community. We started with 1 room to house 2 individuals. And now we have 3 rooms, 3 apartments that are housing 8 women. When you give your yes and your trust to Jesus, when you use what you have, what he has given you to bless others, he will continue to fill in the gaps to meet the needs of those he sends your way.